When you decide to claim Social Security, you're not just making a choice about your own retirement income. You're also making a decision that could either provide financial security for your spouse after you're gone or leave them struggling with thousands less per month. This is especially critical if you and your spouse have similar benefit amounts, because most couples don't understand the survivor benefit rules that determine whether claiming early helps or hurts the surviving spouse financially. As a financial advisor with over 10 years of experience helping families navigate these exact situations, I recently saw this play out in a real conversation on Reddit where a 63-year-old was considering claiming early, not realizing the impact it would have on his 62-year-old wife. Today, I'm going to walk you through exactly how survivor benefits work, why the timing of the higher earners claim is so critical, and how to determine the optimal strategy that maximizes your household's lifetime benefits. Let's start with the most important concept you need to understand. When one spouse dies, the surviving spouse does not get both Social Security benefits. Instead, they receive the higher of the two benefits. This is the critical rule that changes everything about how married couples should think about claiming. Here's a hypothetical example to make this crystal clear. Let's say you're receiving $2,100 per month and your spouse is receiving $2,000 per month. While you're both alive, your household is bringing in $4,100 per month from Social Security. But when one of you passes away, that household income drops to just $2,100 per month, the higher of the two benefits. The lower benefit disappears completely. This means that when you're making your claiming decision, you're not just thinking about your own benefit. The higher earner in the marriage is essentially choosing what the survivor benefit will be for whichever spouse lives longer. According to the Social Security Administration's 2025 guidelines, a surviving spouse can receive up to 100% of the deceased spouse's benefit if they've reached their full retirement age. But here's where it gets even more important. If the higher earner claims early at age 62, they accept about a 30% reduction in their benefit. That reduced benefit becomes the survivor benefit. If the higher earner delays until age 70, they increase their benefit by roughly 24% through delayed retirement credits. That maximized benefit becomes the survivor benefit. Let's put some real numbers to this. Consider a hypothetical scenario where the husband's benefit at full retirement age would be $2,100 per month, and the wife's would be $2,000. If the husband claims at 62, his benefit drops to about $1,470 per month. If he delays to 70, it increases to about $2,604 per month. Now, if the husband passes away first and the wife is at her full retirement age, she'll receive that amount as her survivor benefit. That's a difference of $1,134 per month or over $13,000 per year. Over a 10-year widowhood period, that's more than $136,000 in additional income for the surviving spouse. The situation becomes even more nuanced when both spouses have similar Social Security benefits, which is increasingly common as more women have spent full careers in the workforce. This was the exact scenario in the Reddit post that inspired this video. A 63-year-old man with a wife about to turn 62, where her projected benefit was only $100 per month lower than his at all retirement ages. When benefits are similar, couples often think the claiming decision doesn't matter at all. After all, if you're both getting about the same amount, why not just both claim early and enjoy the money now? But this thinking misses the survivor benefit calculation entirely. Let's walk through a hypothetical example using the numbers from that Reddit scenario. Assume the husband's benefit at age 67 will be $2,100 per month and the wife's will be $2,000. If both claim at 62, they'd receive approximately $1,470 and $1,400 respectively. While both are alive, that's $2,870 per month coming into the household. But here's what happens when one spouse dies. The household income drops to just $1,470 per month, the higher of the two reduced benefits. Now consider the alternative strategy. What if the husband delays his benefit until age 70 while the wife claims at 62? During the delay period, only the wife's reduced benefit of $1,400 comes in. This feels uncomfortable. You're leaving money on the table, right? But at age 70, the husband's benefit starts at $2,604 per month. Now the whole household is receiving $4,004 per month while both are alive. More importantly, when the husband eventually passes away, the wife's survivor benefit is $2,604 per month instead of $1,470. That's a difference of $1,134 per month for potentially 10, 15, or even 20 years of widowhood. According to research from actuarial analysis, women on average outlive their husbands by several years, making this survivor benefit planning absolutely critical. One of the most common questions I hear is, when does delaying actually pay off? The traditional break-even analysis for Social Security looks at when the higher cumulative benefits from delaying surpasses the benefits you gave up by not claiming early. For an individual claiming at 70 versus 62, that break-even is typically around age 80 to 82. But when you're married, that break-even calculation needs to include survivor benefits, and this changes the math dramatically. Let's work through a hypothetical scenario with specific numbers to see exactly how this plays out. Assume a couple where the husband is 63 and the wife is 62. The husband's benefit at full retirement age again would be $2,100 per month, the wife's $2,000. They're trying to decide between both claiming at 62 or having the husband delay to 70. Let's assume the husband lives to 80 and the wife to 90, a common scenario given that women typically outlive men. Let's take scenario A where they both claim at 62. They'll both be alive for about 17 years and earn about almost $600,000 in benefits. The wife will be widowed for 10 years and receive about $176,000 in benefits, for total benefits of $761,880 in benefits. Now in scenario 2, where the husband delays until 70, the wife will claim for 7 years between 62 and 68 and receive about $117,000 in benefits. They'll both claim for 10 years from 70 to 80 for the husband and receive about $480,000 in benefits. The wife will still be widowed for 10 years, receiving $312,000 in benefits, for total lifetime benefits of $910,560. By having the higher earner delay to 70, this hypothetical couple increases their total household lifetime benefits by $148,680. The key insight is that the survivor benefit continues for the wife's entire widowhood, which could be 10, 15, or even 20 years. The break-even point from a survivor benefit perspective occurs when the increased survivor benefit compensates for that delay period. In this scenario, the extra $1,134 per month in survivor benefits means the break-even happens after about 5 to 6 years of widowhood. If the surviving spouse lives longer than that, which is quite likely given female life expectancies, delaying is the clear winner. One of the biggest sources of confusion I see is the difference between spousal benefits while both spouses are alive and survivor benefits after one passes away. These are two completely different types of benefits with different rules, and understanding the distinction is critical. Spousal benefits apply while both spouses are living. If one spouse has little or no work history, they may be eligible for a spousal benefit of up to 50% of their spouse's full retirement age benefit. This benefit is available starting at 62, but claiming before full retirement age reduces the amount. Importantly, spousal benefits max out at 50%. You can't get more than half of your spouse's benefit, even if they delay to 70. Survivor benefits apply after one spouse dies. A surviving spouse can receive up to 100% of the deceased spouse's benefit if they claim at their full retirement age or later. This includes any delayed retirement credits the deceased earned by waiting past full retirement age. Survivor benefits can be claimed as early as age 60 or 50 if disabled, but claiming before full retirement age reduces the benefit. Here's the key difference in a hypothetical example. If your spouse's benefit at full retirement age is $2,400 per month and they delayed to 70 to receive $2,976, you would receive as a spousal benefit while they're alive a maximum of $1,200 per month, which is 50% of their full retirement age benefit. As a survivor benefit after they die, up to $2,976 a month, which is 100% of what they were receiving. This is why the higher earner delaying can be so powerful. The delayed retirement credits that increase the benefit from full retirement age to age 70 carry over to the survivor, but they don't apply to spousal benefits. Another critical difference, you cannot receive both your own retirement benefit and a spousal or survivor benefit. You receive the higher of the two. This is why in many cases, even if both spouses worked and earned benefits, only one benefit ultimately matters for the surviving spouse. So how do you actually make this decision for your specific situation? Let me share a framework that considers the key factors you need to think through. First, identify who is the higher earner. This is usually straightforward. who has the higher projected Social Security benefit. This person's claiming decision will determine the survivor benefit, so their choice matters more for long-term household security. Second, consider your relative life expectancies. This isn't comfortable to think about, but it's important. If you have a reason to believe the higher earner will have a shorter life expectancy, delaying their benefit becomes more valuable because it maximizes the survivor benefit. If both spouses expect to live well into their 90s, there's less urgency, but delaying still often makes sense. According to Social Security Administration data, a 65-year-old man has a 50% chance of living to 84, while a 65-year-old woman has a 50% chance of living to 86 and a half. Third, assess your need for current income. If you need the money now to cover essential expenses and you don't have other resources to draw from, claiming early may be necessary. However, if you have savings you can draw from during the delay period, you're essentially using your own money to buy a higher guaranteed lifetime income stream. Fourth, calculate the break even. Work through the math like we did earlier. When does the higher survivor benefit over a potential widowhood period make up for the benefits you didn't receive during the delay? This calculation should consider both spouses' ages and projected lifespans. Fifth, consider your other assets. If you have substantial retirement savings, using those assets to fund your lifestyle while delaying Social Security can be a form of longevity insurance. You're spending down assets that would be left to heirs anyways, while maximizing a benefit that lasts as long as either spouse is alive. In the hypothetical scenario I've been using, where the husband is 63 and the wife is 62, benefits are similar, and there's significant life expectancy difference. The optimal strategy would typically be for the higher earner husband to delay until 70 while the lower earner, the wife, claims earlier. This maximizes a survivor benefit that will protect the wife during her longer life expectancy. But every situation is unique. Some couples have dramatically different life expectancies. Some have one spouse with a much higher benefit. Some need income immediately. This is where working through your specific numbers becomes critical. Let's talk about what's actually at stake here. When I say this decision could cost your spouse thousands, I'm not exaggerating. Let me show you the real impact of getting this wrong. Take the hypothetical couple we've been discussing. If the higher earning husband claims at 62 instead of delaying to 70, and he passes away when his wife is 80 with 10 years of widowhood ahead, she receives $1,470 per month instead of $2,604. That's $136,000 less over those 10 years. If she lives to 95 instead of 90, it's another $68,000 in lost benefits. We're talking about over $200,000 in cumulative survivor benefits left on the table. But it's not just about the cumulative dollars. It's about what those dollars mean for quality of life. A surviving spouse dealing with the emotional trauma of losing their partner shouldn't simultaneously face financial stress because of a claiming decision made years earlier. The difference between receiving $1,470 and $2,604 per month could be the difference between maintaining independence and needing to move in with children, between managing healthcare expenses and going without needed care, between living comfortably and just scraping by. This is especially important because expenses often don't drop as much as you think when one spouse passes away. You still have the mortgage or rent, property taxes and insurance don't change, many utilities stay roughly the same, health costs often increase with age. The surviving spouse needs reliable, inflation-adjusted income that continues for life. And that's exactly what maximizing the survivor benefit provides. Another hidden cost of claiming early for both spouses is a missed opportunity for tax planning. When you have other retirement accounts like IRAs, 401ks, coordinating Social Security claiming with withdrawals from those accounts can significantly reduce lifetime taxes. This is beyond the scope of today's video, but it's another reason to be strategic rather than defaulting to claiming as early as possible. If you're approaching retirement and wondering how to optimize your Social Security claiming strategy, especially when considering your spouse's financial security, this is exactly the type of planning we do at TrelloWell. We help families and retirees simplify financial complexity with personalized planning and disciplined investment management, so you can move into retirement with clarity, confidence, and peace of mind. We'll run the numbers for your specific situation, consider your unique circumstances, and help you make the decision that maximizes your household's lifetime benefits, while also protecting the surviving spouse. Visit the link in the description to schedule a call with me, or download our retirement readiness checklist.